Hi, this is Colette with Love It Forever. You can check us out at loveitforever.com. Today I wanted to do a simple doggy pillow. It's going to be just like this, just a square, and you can apply it to any project that you're wanting to do. You can apply it to pillows that you want to put on your couch, pillows you want to put on your bed, or in this case, like I'm doing, it's going to be for my dog's bed. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the things that you're going to need. You're going to need your fabric. You can cut, not cut, but you can have cut either a half yard to a yard of fabric, depending on how big your dog is. My dog's cage isn't that big. She's a smaller dog. So I cut about, I got a yard of fabric, but I only cut out of it about, I'd say like 1.5 feet by like a foot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a two-toned doggy pillow. So I have a top fabric that's going to be these dogs here. It's like a fleece, so it's really soft. And then on the bottom of it, that's going to go against the cage, is going to be this denim black that I have. Okay. I'm going to use that denim black on the bottom mainly because of the fur. She gets a lot of fur in her cage sometimes, so and it clings on the fleece a lot. So basically it just helps as far as keeping everything holds onto this pillow. Both of these fabrics kind of help with the fur issue in her bed, so it's not swirling around and all that stuff when like the AC comes on and stuff like that. Everything kind of sticks on here. Okay, so this pillow is not going to be washable. If you wanted to make it washable, what you can do is you can pre-stuff a interfacing such as this one here. It's a light sew-on kind of interfacing, and you can basically make this pillow just like I'm going to show you, and then you're going to stuff that, and that's going to get stuffed in the real thing. That way you can pull it out, wash this outside, and then stuff it back in when it's all washed and clean. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. I'm just going to show you the very basic way of doing it. My dog has plenty of pillows, so anytime one gets dirty, I can just kind of trade it out, throw it away, whatever I need to do with it to get it washed up and clean. Okay? So, like I said, you're going to need your fabric. You can have the two-tone like I'm doing, or you can have just one basic color. It's up to you. And you're going to need your clips. You can have pins as well. You can have pins, that's fine. But I prefer the clips. It's a little easier to work with. You're, of course, are going to need your scissors. It's not the scissors I'm going to use. They're somewhere around here. I lost them somewhere. But you're going to need scissors, of course. You're going to need measuring tapes. You can measure the length and width of whatever you're going to do. So if it's like the cage that I'm going to do, I measured her cage, the width and the length, so I knew exactly what length to cut so it'll fit like I want it to fit. You're also going to want to allow for a seam allowance. So therefore, you're going to want to cut about 1 inch more than what you measured. That way you're giving yourself 1 inch of seam allowance, so when you turn it in, it has some give when you sew it up, okay? You're going to need a pack of fill. It can be polyfill. It can be fiber fill. It can be memory foam. They have that too. You can use whatever stuffing you want. In my case, I'm using the polyfill for this particular project, okay? And of course, you're gonna need your sewing machine. For this project, I'm gonna use just a standard thread, otherwise known as all-purpose thread. You can use any type of thread for this, as long as it's nothing that's built for like not elastic, nothing that's built for light fabrics, because you definitely are going to want all-purpose thread or something that's heavier, like an outdoor thread, bonded nylon type thread, anything to make sure that your pillow stays together, so when people or your pet pushes on it, lays on it, and it has that give to it, your thread's going to hold up, okay? So you don't want anything that's for lighter, light things. So make sure you get an all-purpose thread or a heavier weight thread, okay? So let's start putting this together, shall we? So what we're going to do is, if you are like mine, you have a right side and a wrong side of the fabric, okay? There's some fabric out there where the right side is the same as the wrong side, okay? So you can do either or, but in my case, I have a right side and a wrong side. The wrong side is going to be the part that no one's going to see, and the right side is going to be the right side, the right one that you want people to see, okay? So we're going to do right side to right side of your fabric, okay? You're going to put it, make sure that both lengths are the same and you're not putting the width on the length and the length on the width, okay? So make sure you're doing the same on both sides and that they match up, raw edge to raw edge, okay? The raw edge, if you don't know, is the edge that you cut. So if you cut it, that edge is your raw edge, okay? So we're gonna put it together. All you're doing, make sure it's wrong side, right side to right side. Make sure, I'm trying to make sure, yeah, I did it right. All right, and you're just gonna clip down the whole length of it. You're basically gonna clip around the whole thing, except one side. You're gonna leave one side open because that's where you're gonna stuff, okay? So you're clipping around 3 sides, the length, the width, and the other side, which is the length again, okay? And you're gonna leave one side open, which would be, I do the width. You could leave the length open if you want, that's up to you. But me, I'm gonna do the width side. All right, so you just clip around all 3 sides, okay? So go ahead and do that and then come back when you're ready. Okay guys, so we went ahead, clipped around all 3 sides, this side, and this side. Your length, your width, and your length, okay? And then you have that one side where there's no clipping, no anything, just an open side, and that's where we're gonna stuff it. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this to your machine and you're gonna sew around all the sides that you clipped. Make sure you're leaving an inch or less or more if you prefer, but I would say an inch of for your seam allowance, okay? So go ahead and sew all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. All right, and then once you're finished with that, go ahead and come back and I'll tell you what to do next. All right, so if you're looking at this part of the video, that means that you have already sewn around the length, the width, and the other length of your fabric, okay? So now that we've done that, right, you should only have one opening right here on the width side. In that opening, what you're gonna do is take your hand, go inside all the way to the opposite side of your pillow, push it into your hand from the outside, and pull through that hole, okay? What this is doing is you're turning it inside out. If your pillow is the shape of mine, you would only have to do that one time, because the rest, you can pretty much just push your hand in and pull it out, okay? Make sure you're pushing out every side, every corner. Now what you can do, it's a little trick, is before you pull this inside out, what you can do is clip the corners or clip your seam line. You can clip it as close to the thread as you'd like. There's no harm in doing either or in my case, it's just a random pillow that's going in her cage, so it's not really gonna matter which way, if I clip them, if I don't clip them. But it's okay if you clip, it's okay if you don't, it's up to you. But it's usually people go ahead and clip. Okay, so once you turn inside out, you should now have the shape of the pillow. All right, in my case, little rectangle. Right now it actually looks like it should be a picture on the wall or something, right? All right, so now our next step is, in that hole that's still open, you're gonna take the stuffing. Like I said, in my case, I'm using something called Polyfill. You can get this at your local craft store. It can be Joann's. It could be Walmart even sells this. And all you do is you can ball it up, push it in the hole. And that's all you're going to do. You're going to put as much stuffing as you can in the hole until it's at the top, to the point where you can't stuff anymore. All right? It does depend on how firm you want the pillow. Some people don't like their pillow with a lot of stuffing. Me personally, I think if she's going to be laying on it, and she's going to be doing that quite often, because she's always in her cage. So I like to make her pillows firm. So I put as much stuffing as will fit in there, because I know within a matter of weeks or two, it's going to have depleted. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue stuffing. My last little bit here. I might need to open the other bag. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I think it might be okay. Might be full enough. Alright. Alright. So once you get it all stuffed up, as thick as you want it, if your polyfill or whatever bag that you have, stuffing that you have, came with the stuffing stick, go ahead and pull that out. Or you don't actually need the stick. You can just use your hand, use your fingers. You're just going to stuff it in the stuffing. And you're just going to kind of mix that stuffing around so it's nice and fluffy and it forms to your bag. To your pillow. All right, so you're going to get in the corners, all the places, all the creases that most likely you haven't got to. Your stick's going to come in handy with that. In my case, I just think it's a little quicker just to push it with your hand more so than the stick. But I believe the stick is more so for the fluffing part than it is to stick in the crevices, but it's just a useful little tool. But anyway, so once you've stuffed it to the brim, all you're going to do now is that open part, that open hole, to close it up, you're going to fold the back part, fold it down, the front part, fold it down. The raw edges, I mean. All right? So your raw edges that are right here, you're going to fold them in. The raw edge back here, you're going to fold it in. Stuff that stuffing out of the way and put both of those edges together. And now you have a finished edge. And then you're just going to sew right along here and close it up. And that will be your pillow. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pin so I can close mine up. I'm going to sew down that line and then we'll be all finished. Alright, so come back when you've done that, okay? And we'll see the finished product. Alright guys, so at this point you should have sewed up that hole that was there. So now you should see no more hole. If you like, you could go ahead and do a top stitch all the way around the broidery of your pillow. Usually that's used for decorative purposes, or it could also be used as a way of a little backup. Therefore, if any thread pops or anything, it kind of helps. So the first thing to pop would probably be your top stitch, and then it would push to the next threading, which would be the initial stitch that you did. But that's all up to you. It's not absolutely necessary, especially if it's like a decorative pillow, or in this case just a pillow to go ahead and lay in her bed. But like I said, if you want, you can go ahead and top stitch it, which all that is going around again, all the way around. It's just a little decorative stitch. So go ahead and fluff out your pillow, make it nice and smooth, and form it the way you'd like. Make it feel how you want it to feel. And then in my case, I'm going to go stick it in my dog's cage. In your case, maybe you're putting it on the couch or something. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you'd like to check out our products, which we make backpacks, handbags, clutch bags, you can check us out at www.loveitforever.com, Or if you want more of these videos, you can also go to the site, and under needle tips, you'll see our video update here on YouTube. So subscribe below, and I hope you enjoyed.